Good morning, everyone. I am Sai Hasini, board member of ACMW Stanley, and I am delighted to be moderating today's session. A very warm welcome to all of you to the panel on the role of NEP in enhancing employability and industry readiness. The National Education Policy is a timely and important framework, and today we've been an incredible panel of thought leaders who bring diverse expertise ranging from finance and innovation, corporate training, education, and technology to help us understand how NEP can truly shape students and professionals for the future of work. Before we begin, I would like to introduce to our distinguished panelists. Starting with our first panelist, we have Ms. Monica Roy. Is a distinguished behavioral trainer, motivational speaker, and team building expert with a proven track record of collaborating with top organizations and institutions, including BHEL, DGR Army Rehabilitation, ICT Tamil Nadu, ESCI BMC Mumbai, Chaudhry Charan Singh University, and Sikkim Manipal University. She seamlessly integrates industry expertise with a passion for bridging the academia industry gap, empowering individuals for workplace readiness. As a passionate advocate for the national education policy's role in enhancing employability, Monica's work resonates with professionals and students alike. Her personal experience as a mother to a special needs child and founder of the Alt Junior, a learning center for underprivileged kids, lends a unique blend of professional insight and empathetic understanding to her endeavors. Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. Next, we have Dr. Prasad Lanka. Dr. Prasad Lanka is the Dean of Stanley College of Engineering and Technology for Women, bringing over 30 years of academic and industry experience to the field of engineering education. Throughout his career, he has taught at leading institutions including the Bangalore Institute of Technology, NBKR Institute of Technology, TRR College, and Narayana Engineering College, with over 7 years of industry experience at SS Infotech in Los Angeles and Computer Integrated Services in Hyderabad. Dr. Lanka bridges the gap between academia and real-world applications. He has held prominent positions such as Professor of ECE, Director of R&D, and Principal, contributing significantly to institutional development and research excellence. Dr. Lanka has published several national and international research papers and has been a key participant and presiding figure in numerous academic conferences, engaging with some of the brightest minds in engineering and technology. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for joining us today. And next, we have John Elian, lecturer, principal consultant, master trainer. John is a consultant and trainer specializing in business innovation with AI. He designs engaging workshops on digital strategies, social media, data protection, and AI and generative AI. Mr. John empowers participants with practical digital and AI skills. Recognized with IAL AI Award, he has designed digital literacy programs and developed PDPA frameworks. Currently pursuing Masters in AI, Mr. John combines expertise in business innovation, digital marketing, and adult education, making him a valuable asset for organizations driving digital transformation. Good morning, Mr. John.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry I had some technical issues.
Yes, sir. All right. We welcome you for today's panel discussion. And next we have Professor Parneeta Dhaliwal, professor in the Department of Computer Science and Technology at Manav Rachna University with over 16 years of teaching and research experience. She holds a PhD in machine learning from MSIT, University of Delhi. Her expertise spans artificial intelligence, data science, blockchain, and digital forensics. She has numerous publications, patents, and awards to her credit, and has also been recognized in the AD Scientific Index among top researchers. We are honored to have her share her insights with us today. Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining. Before we dive into the discussion, I would like to ask each of you a quick icebreaker. If you had to describe in just one word what today's students need most to be industry ready under NEP, what would that word be and why?
Perhaps I would, being the newest on the block, I would like to go first. I believe that today's students would really require adaptability. Adaptability in terms of the skill sets that we are able to acquire so that we can actually launch ourselves into futuristic industries. Adaptability in terms of really specializing in domains that are relevant to what is required on the marketplace. So for me, the icebreaker word will be adaptability.
If I go second, I would like to say a more flexibility approach. Though NEP 2020 has already opened doors, but yet culture shift takes time, we all know. So, according to me, uh, as far as the icebreaker is concerned, a more flexible approach, of course, by all of them, but especially students, is what is required today, is need of the hour.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your insights. I would like to hear from other panelists as well.
Yeah, so I would like to add first is innovative approach in the resource management, and another is lifelong learning. They have to be highly innovative in their mindset, in their approach to work, and moreover, in providing the solutions to any problem statements. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that.
I would like to use the keyword opportunity. Changing opportunities, redefining work cultures, redefining goals, national aims. To align with that, I think this NEP is a good start. So it is giving people opportunities, and this opportunity is not stopping with the formal education. It is giving a window to enhance the education in the direction, new alignments which are developing in their life, and new challenges which are coming in the industry. It is allowing students to align in that. I think that is the big challenge which NEP is seeking to solve. Uh, we look at the challenges and the path forward for that compared to vis-a-vis global experiences in this chat as well. So my keyword would be opportunity.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing the valuable insights. And now moving on with the panel discussion. Dr. Lanka, my first question to you is MEP emphasizes flexibility, multidisciplinary learning, and a choice-based credit system. From an academic institution's perspective, how do you see these reforms translating into improved employability of students?
I think NEP is looking at this issue in a different perspective rather than only higher education. It is looking it as an evolving situation. It has changed the model from 10 plus 2 to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. That's the thing. And so in that line, they have envisaged that from grade 6 onwards, the students should get a perspective of the work culture in various fields, explore them, and map their skill set, their SWOT analysis, and go into the direction they want. They want, and their skills are best. It is in this line that NEP is going. And as far as the challenges of NEP are concerned, this is evolving fields have few experts. NEP is a real big, huge shift in paradigm which is being attempted. The the resources, both the infrastructure and manpower to model this. And also, when they're looking at from grade 6 onwards, internships, or grade 6 in schools. Now, we in higher educational institutions do know the problems in getting quality internships for only the higher education students. When this is exploded into the school level, how do we manage it? I think the policy designers have looked at it in phases. First, I think they have the phase from 20 to 25, where train the trainer, all these issues are being sorted out. And the legislative and the allocation of funds. At this point of time, funds are poor. Direction, we are only 3% spending on education and educational systems and support. That much higher. Look at the support needed for research. It should go a little more higher. All these challenges, they are going to look in a phased manner. 25 to 30, they have another one. The GER enrollment ratio. The very idea of having multiple entries and multiple exits was to deal with this enrollment ratio, which was swinging all over the place. All over the place, dropouts at different levels were not consistent. Because it's a huge country, we have got some social challenges. Because of that, this equity, whether it is gender equity or whether it is the social equity, these challenges which are tried to be addressed in the old policy, the women empowerment and the social equity was the 86 policy. In this new policy, 2020 policy, after 30 years, employability is the employability skills, continuous learning platforms, and paperless education. These are the things. So it's a huge challenge ahead where the colleges have to change. As an administrator, it is a nightmare. As a professor or a student, even at my age, to continue my education, it is a grand scheme of things. I simply love it. But as an administrator, what infrastructure do I provide? What is for the next 5 years? When I'm not sure about the enrollment, how do I do it? These issues the government should address by creating hubs of excellence, centers of excellence at different places. I think that will be the solution in really making this NEP a success. Right. So I yield to the other people.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. May I have other panelists to share their thoughts?
Anybody can respond on the multi-language system. Up to the 8th grade, they expect local language education. I think that is a little late to do a transition to a global language.
I would like to add that the government is going towards spreading awareness about and knowledge also based on the local language. Are we really creating government jobs related to that? There is a huge gap between what is being taught to the students and we are promoting students to avoid English. But English is a globally accepted language, and our already Indian citizens have proved it multiple times. So many MNCs coming over to India, so many providing us employability, many people being CEOs of MNCs in US, in other countries also. And but this earlier I have met students, those who had Hindi background as the medium of language, but when they were pursuing their higher education, it was an insist that the student had to shift over to English because the acceptance in the market wasn't there. So, what is the actual need of the industry, and what is the kind of jobs that we have, and what we are promoting? There is a huge gap. If the government is saying we are promoting a regional language for the mode of education, are we creating regional jobs also over there for the people who will be studying engineering or any other kind of courses? So there is a huge gap that the government has to focus on. Like we are promoting technology also in Sanskrit and other regional languages. Are we really having softwares in Sanskrit? So that huge gap, I do differ, and I had discussions on this also earlier with other government employees, that what you are envisioning and what the actual implementation would result in. So this has to be really taken care of. Yeah, thank you.
Perhaps I could interact based on the two precedent speakers. When we're talking about multicultural, um, my base is in Singapore, so we understand very well that Singapore is a very multicultural society where our national language is Malay, our home maternal language is Mandarin for me, for my case, but our commercial language is English. So maybe I cannot pretend to offer the only solution, but I would like to attempt to give certain considerations towards working towards a model of workflow that can accommodate multilingual competencies while being stream aligned to the world market. For example, in Singapore, we have a mature generation of workers who are less proficient in English as their main language. But what happens in most industries is that these workers are attributed roles that are rather more mechanical and less in terms of managing teams and managing the workflow, and they are put in a less communicative role in whatever they do. So this is actually a less than perfect, less than ideal situation. But instead of pretending that that population of the industry does not exist, we are able to accommodate them, but by setting linguistic limits to what roles are accessible when it comes to specific regional languages. But for those that are client facing, industry communicating, that will definitely have to be the role of someone who has high proficiency in English. So in this manner, I felt that the Skills Framework Singapore model, that is a national initiative in Singapore, is able to accommodate regional specificities but still engage at the level of those who are not quite there yet. So I'm happy to listen to other commentaries from other speakers, because I know that this is probably less than ideal, but for the moment, it's able to manage the situation.
Well, I'll second Mr. John. Absolutely. When we talk about the NEP spirit, the chairman, Mr. Professor Jagdish, had said during his interview in 2020 that I'm sorry for a sore throat. So he has told, he said on that very day that it's about implementing and keeping the spirit of India's education system alive, preserving the ethos, and of course promoting various languages, as Professor Dhaliwal just told us. But the main challenge for me is that, of course, NEP has opened doors. It's just not a reform for it. It's like it's an attempt to, let's say, declaration to the world that India has talent. But now, bridging the gap between various languages and what the global platform requires, or let's say, amalgamating everything. NEP spirit is good. It is trying to mirror the flexibility, what's that, liberal arts flexibility of Europe. It's trying to build or amalgamate the ECTS, credit system of Europe. When you talk about Singapore, yes, the industry integrated system, the way you conduct your programs and ask your students to prepare your students, if I may say so. It's all about that. The spirit is good, but yes, scaling it at a 35 million higher ed student is of course a challenge. And as of now, it's a long way to go. That's what I can say.
I do feel around 2035 will be the next point at which we can take stock of the direction in which NEP is yielding fruit. But what concerns me is our demographic dividend is going to peak at 2040. Around, that's the prediction. And after that, probably will be on, maybe another 5 years, we might have the same growth, depending upon the population, new population added. But 2040 will be around a time when India has to look in and also start exporting our education. Like you got health tourism, you have got adventure tourism, you have got tech tourism, whatever. The same way, our educational system, also tourism, like Africa is going to peak around that period. So a global perspective for NEP implementation, we should not look at only the Indian perspective. We look at the global perspective, where the economy is like Japan is doing. What is Japan doing? It is becoming an old society. What they're doing, instead of manufacturing in Japan, they are investing outside. Like that, India would probably learn from that lesson in its own context and try to get ready through our educational system, make it a little language independent, skill predominant over there. For that, necessary tools and infrastructure has to be built, of course, as Madam Monica was mentioning. We have to bridge this gap by developing tools, investing in development of tools, like coding platforms, as Dhaliwal Madam was suggesting as a challenge. See, the coding platforms in different languages also must come up. For that, we don't have to look far. We look at the European coding platforms. You look at any practically developed nation is coding in its own language.
Right.
Okay, so we should invest in that direction. The government should take an initiative, and we as partners should be supporting the government with the proposals, and so grants should be coming to take up this on a huge scale, wherein we'll get a mix of what John was suggesting. Different people, different roles. Different languages, different people, different roles. So instead of that, we can go one step ahead. All the people can be eligible in all roles if there is an equitable translation system. If there is an equitable translation system, because intelligence is there, native or in English. It's there everywhere, globally. So we need some system over here which is going to bridge this gap. And if that comes in, I think NEP will be a huge success. Its goals are very ambitious. It has taken the
Yes.
best of various educational systems into one framework. The only minus point I would like to point is starting at the age of 3, where the bones and the cognitive learning of the child is not yet completed.
Mhm.
Starting at that age might be a little too early. Earlier we had starting at 5, um, and the Europeans, Finland, etc., they start at 7. Okay, they start at 7. So given that starting at 3 might be too ambitious. Might be too ambitious, where still structuring of the body physically and mentally is not complete. Evolving process. Yeah,
Yeah,
John, you want
so yeah, please do.
I'm not aware if anyone is seconding the comments, but I'm really excited to hear Dr. Satya with his projection for NEP and for the future of India. I have to confess, I'm really rather envious of India because I have seen excellent programmers, excellent cyber forensic specialists, and I don't have to tell you their nationalities. They have top, top grade skills. I was for a short time with a banking institution, and all my colleagues were from Hyderabad, you know. So I also enjoyed the biryani as well. So
Oh,
but it's not very
that's
good
great.
for my size and my weight. But anyway, that's another topic. But I really see India as a nation with such potential, and today that's why I was motivated to join this panel because I really saw that all it took was really a framework to be able to allow the population of students and of workers to really build themselves towards industry relevant skill sets because the older generation where it is all top down informational cognitive learning that is kind of finding itself progressing towards obsoletism because today, like what Dr. Satya was mentioning, today with AI, when I have a Zoom meeting cross border with the Asian region, we have South India, we have Australia, and we can apply Otter AI, we can apply translation captions. So language can be managed, but skills can must be learned. So that I think the framework that has to be really very industry robust has to be something that provides specific skills that actually can support the development of students towards 2035. So I end my commentary.
Yeah, Mr. John, I would like to add here. Absolutely, we second what you said. When I talk about flexibility, I have been working in close association with engineers for the past few years and engineering people from various corporates and all. It really occurred to me that we are, they are brilliant, no doubt about it, no second thoughts about it. But when it comes to industry readiness, yes, what the globe sees us or the world sees us is that Indian engineers are not that job ready. Of course, there are various reasons to it, and NEP is trying to bridge that gap. When we talk about benchmarks, when IIT Madras, asks the commerce students that yes, you can participate in this and you can become a data scientist. That's another benchmark that NEP has set. When we talk about industry readiness, as Mr. John just pointed out, that reminded me of how BITS Pilani, yeah, BITS Pilani is bringing classroom into offices with companies like TCS, and if I'm not wrong, Wipro as well. So this is what when NEP is trying to say that see, industry readiness is not a slogan for us. We are trying to practice it. And the third point that reminds me, of course, after Dr. Lanka just told us, the adaptability and the future skills, uh, I have I have seen and I have noticed and have gone into various discussions of how Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, that pushes students to solve real world problems and give credit for that. They can use it later. So that is how careers have now changed multiple times. How they can, if they change their careers multiple times, they will be benefited from the participation that they had. And that again reminds me how adaptable and future skill ready NEP is trying to make students. That's what I could remember after I heard you, great people talking about NEP.
Yeah, I would like also to support that. The best thing which I have found about NAP has been the multiple entry and the multiple exit points.
Yes,
Because
yes,
at times, yeah, so a new announcement has been there. People, DU has made that announcement, and the people who couldn't pursue and complete their degrees, and long
yes,
before they can rejoin and avail the credits they have already earned. So that's the best thing because some students and the girl child who got married earlier had family responsibility, had to leave their education. But this has really supported the girls who and girls as well as young boys also who couldn't complete
yes,
because of some family issues. So this
absolutely.
is, and moreover, if the student is not able to align themselves with a given domain, like somebody might have taken computer science engineering, but he's not able to cope up with the pressure of coding. He can easily switch over to other domain. So that would be a great benefit for the students, and that will give them a broader approach and the real expertise also that they would enjoy. I think so. In addition, like the students, they can get the certification after first year, the diploma after second year. That would be a really thing. So whatever the student is doing, they are getting some outcome out of it. So parents would also don't think twice. At least whatever they are doing, they are getting some certification or something out of it, which will make them somewhat scalable and job ready also. And if somebody wants
Absolutely.
to go in for entrepreneurship also, they can start their own business. After doing the diploma also, they can start their business. And moreover, the focus towards being skill oriented. So increasing the number of workshops, increasing the number of labs, I think so that would really help the students rather than going from a theoretical perspective. So and universities have already earlier also we have our some courses being covered in the project-based learning mode where we have seen the students doing projects based on real problem statements, and that could help them earn patents also, research papers also, as well as competitions also further. And if they would want to start their own business, some of them have really did it. Uh, and they have already been appreciated, got funding also. So, change of mindset also we have seen among the parents also. Like earlier, we used to force, "Nahi, you should first get the job." Now, parents have already seen the lot of pressure which is coming when we are doing job for someone. So people are also motivating their kids to go in for an entrepreneurial venture, and
Mm,
the mindset change, the concept of defer placement policy at the university level. So students are aware if they are not able to, if their startup won't succeed, they can still apply for job and sit for the placements for after the completion of their degree. So these things are really helped up and open up mindset rather than having a to go multidisciplinary way. And like computer science students, they are always we are dependent on another branches. We are dependent on another applications. So earlier there used to be a huge gap. Like we know the coding part, but we don't know the financial. If we are going in finance industry or application, so there was a gap. But the concept of electives and the concept of so that is making them complete job readiness with the technical knowledge as well as the domain knowledge of where that application would be implemented. So that is, I really would industry ready with the sector agnostic approach. Yeah.
Yes, Professor Dhaliwal. That reminds me of a quote that now mindset will be the new mark sheet. That's
Yeah.
what what NEP is
Yeah.
trying to promote.
Yeah.
I would like to share our journey in this direction. We went autonomous in 21. Stanley went autonomous in 21, and we devised our first curriculum. There itself, we introduced this concept that NEP had just been released. The document was released for public consumption. We introduced a field work at the end of first year.
Okay.
And introduced courses in the first semester and second semester, C and data structures, along with an IT workshop which gave them the computer awareness. Office, latex was there, and fieldwork. They had to do a fieldwork. So then they would get a certificate which was employable. There's no point in giving a certificate based on physics, chemistry, maths, and they don't get any employability. Some employable skills must be given to the student at the end of first possible exit point. The second exit point, we gave a 2-week internship. 2-week internship, which they share with other students. So they map their passion to the domain by listening to the experiences of all the students, which they are supposed to present to their friends as a report. Their experience of what they have seen in the industry, what is the products of that industry, what is the tools of that industry, work culture of that industry. So they can decide which direction to go. At the same time, if they are interested in leaving at the point with a diploma after second year, then they would get an opportunity in this internship to translate that into a job opportunity by showing adequate skills, by preparing them. So mentoring for that would start in third semester. If you are intending to leave, this is what you got to do. If you want to go forward, this is what you got to use your internship for. Okay. So our mentoring system had to undergo a total radical change. Rather than attendance, marks, remedial mentoring system, career mentoring system also had to be in place over there. And in their third year, they have to do an exhaustive 4 to 6 weeks internship, based upon which they get different credits. 4 weeks, they get 1 credit. Okay. So totally our industry oriented, including the project seminar and technical paper presentations, all these, we have introduced 16 to 20 credits across different programs we are running. Right? Okay. Other than the professional electives, which allow them to specialize and to get a 360-degree engineering skill, you have the open electives. Right? Those contribute to another 140 credits. Another 40 credits. So personalized education, right, which goes beyond CBCS, is what our framework designed over here. And we have seen that the number of entrepreneurs are increasing. The hackathons participation and winning is increasing. Okay. The pay packages, just last week we got 36 lakh package. Well, really a kid getting 36 lakhs package, so is it sustainable? Is it sustainable over there? Okay. So that challenge also we have accepted. We mentor them. Those who are getting high packages above 15 lakhs and so, they undergo a separate training so that it's not a flash in the pan.
Yes, sir. Rightly said, sir.
I
That's
would
the
now
spirit of NEP which we have put into our curriculum itself. Every subject we have got a 5-mark component. 5-mark component where a student should apply that subject somehow. Apply that subject, do a problem-based learning or a project-based learning, solve a problem. Okay, the set of experiments which they're supposed to do in a particular lab, is it going to result in an outcome, an
yes, sir.
application? If the student does that, they get that credit. So this type of an experiment we have conducted and found we trusted in youth and they have delivered.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing that. Mr. John, what role can industry advisory boards play in curriculum design under NEP?
I am I am not the expert. At least personally, I feel that in this panel there are so many much more experienced experts. But I would just share with my own interaction based on my education in France, as well as my present industry in Singapore, in consultancy, as well as in training of job seekers in Beaton Academy, Singapore. I would say that, today the world market has evolved. There was a time, whether it's in China or in Singapore, that if you are a graduate of NUS or NTU of Singapore or Tsinghua or Beijing University of China, getting an employment is not an issue. But today the context has completely changed. Today, the recent statistics for graduates getting employment straight out of the National University of Singapore is 51.7%. 51.9, sorry. Yeah, 9%. But when you transfer that perspective to China today, someone from the prestigious who comes out from it, there's only a 25% chance he's able to find work. So 3 out of 4 from prestigious universities in China, the main two, are not able to secure employment. So this is really the challenge today. So if I have to reflect on this real marketplace issues, I would say that the NEP challenge today is that we have to find a solution between the disconnect between industry expectations and formal education. Because formal education is in our blood. When I observe Dr. Lanka, Dr. Dhaliwal, you have been in formal education for so many years. And I imagine that, the manner of evaluation, assessment, everything has already been planned out, the entire roadmap of a person's life from the time he enters into primary, goes to secondary, to college, and finally university. Everything has already been reflected and thought. But today's industry challenge is somehow causing there to be a disconnect between, a very gradual developmental curriculum because of AI. When AI came in to
Right.
disrupt the learning framework, today, whatever we learn within a scope of 4 years in university, half of it is irrelevant by the time we graduate. So there has to be implemented into the curriculum. And I fully agree with what Dr. Lanka was mentioning, that there has to be this transition of internship so that we can stay relevant to the market requirements. Because if we do not do that, by the time these students graduate, they graduate into unemployment, which is a very tragic outcome after so many years of academic excellence, personal sacrifices from the person, and by the family. So I would say that to answer this within the NEP framework, there needs to be, I fully support and I fully concur with what Dr. Lanka said. There has to be a on-the-job training, internship training. There needs to be a logical partnership by the national framework and external international partners that provides a clear understanding that we are providing internship and the external partners do not have to worry that there is this hidden obligation to onboard every single person who's doing the internship, but it's really mainly for the industry related educational roadmap. So I would tend to stop here because I believe that the other panelists have very interesting perspective to offer.
Yes, sir. Rightly said. Now, may I have Miss Monica, ma'am? Do you think that soft skills like communication, teamwork, and adaptability are being adequately addressed under NEP?
Well, it's a very interesting question. And in fact, I was waiting for this question. Time and again, working with engineering colleges and with engineering professionals from various corporates, I have been trying to advocate the same, that of course engineers and other professionals are job ready. They have already been. That's why they are in the job. But soft skills, have been always so undermined, because the word soft skill, if you ask me, is a misnomer. These should never be called as soft skills in the first place. They should be called, let's say, essential skills, to be very frank here. Because when you are not a good team player, or you are a less of a leader, or you cannot work with people, or you always prefer working in silos, this is not the case in real world. Okay, having great knowledge is one thing, and being able to take people alongside, and again, using your knowledge is another thing. So when people lack in the so-called soft skills, I told you I don't agree to this word. So let's say when they lack on these behavioral skills, they fall short in the workplace, a lot short, if I may say so. What happens, then they are not able to deliver their best. They are not at their, they cannot reach to their maximum potential. And then workplace conflicts, or let's say, building strong teams becomes a real challenge. That's why I feel as of now, NEP, of course, in papers and in spirit, I agree. They are trying to do it in a good way. But faculty development programs after the NEP has been implemented is another challenge, because we need let's say more revised or more updated faculties as of now, so that these soft skills that are now advocated by NEP but not practiced should be practiced more. One thing. Another thing is, like, of course, we have benchmarks. I go to engineering colleges, I train them on behavioral skills, but it is not a very easy thing to do, let's say in a 2 months or 3 months thing. NEP should implement these soft skills for a better span or a larger span of time, so that along with coding and all technical expertise, students are also very good with these behavioral skills, which are essential skills for me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a very practical reality students will face when they step into the workplace. Anyone want to add upon this?
Yeah, I would like to add, I have been working in a team where we are developing the competency framework, the skill competency framework, just to try to reduce the gap between what is the industrial demand and what we are producing. So the soft skills, so-called the soft skills, I think Miss Monica, she is perfectly right that they should be rather inculcated in our students, in our kids, right from the very beginning. we say like speak well, then the team spirit has to be really, the empathy has to be there. You really need to have respect for others' viewpoints also. You can't be saying
Right.
I'm the leader, I'm the best. So these soft skills, just within a span or a small workshop, won't help the teams to perform well. So rather than starting from coding from sixth class onwards, I really do feel that these soft skill aspect should be part of our education system, and rather from play school itself. These are not things which you can teach the students. It is you inculcate that in their attitude. So the activities have to be planned in such a way that students have that empathy part really inculcated, because I have seen the Gen Zs, they are very practical in nature. Because of that only, they are not able to perform well. So yesterday only I heard the news that many of the Gen Zs are being thrown out of the job after 2 months itself, because having a sense of responsibility, having a sense of team player, having a sense of ownership, timelines, then respecting others' views, and they are just thinking about themselves. So we have been pampering our kids like, don't say them anything that will destroy their mental framework. But in a
Mm.
way, I have seen we are letting them just loose. Do anything, you are accepted, but that is not the right thing. The globally, the companies don't accept such kind of individuals, and there I have seen that rather than technical as one part, the family, the character of a person, the attitude of the person, that is also being focused, because you can't have an individual in the team who is just trying to have his own career at the top and maligning others' viewpoints. So, soft skills should be inculcated not at the higher education as well as at the school education level. And even parents, like I have seen many people who are very practical nowadays. I've seen our colleagues also very practical. The new generations are really practical. We are really empathy. We have really respect our seniors also. But that trend is changing. They are very clear. This much being our working hours, we can't go beyond. But at times you have to. You have to prioritize that some things are very critical, and you have to give in more extra time. So these things have to be for our as a faculty development program. Not only the technical knowledge should be inculcated, the team spirit, the team building exercises should be really there, which makes them work and collate as a team to look towards their team goals rather than having their own personal goals. So if we are
Mm.
having such teams with us at our offices, at our campuses, I think automatically that will go into their kids also. So that is what I would like to add. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely, and you said it very correctly. A little more awareness about the EQ. Now, parents are
Yeah.
pushing more on IQ and more on performance and this and that. A little bit awareness on the emotional intelligence of people, and being a little more self-aware. Aware, when you're talking about Gen Z, this is what I have observed. They don't have the patience. I'm not criticizing. They are superb. They are great. We need to learn a lot from them, but then some things they need to imbibe. The number one is emotional intelligence, and number two is soft. As you already said, that soft skill is not a workshop thing. It's a continuous learning process. We need to learn a lot when it comes to soft skills or these essential skills. And implementing this is important, very important, because when it comes to the performance dialogue part in corporates, I've seen that 80-20 rule come into play. Very simple small misunderstandings create huge, if I may say, negative results. So when it comes to performance dialogues in corporates, when it comes to the communications in corporates, these soft skill will play a very important vital role, and it should be implemented on a, if I may say, a large scale, or on a better way, and focusing on the point that it is very important, as important as the technical skills, if not
True.
more.
If I may, maybe interject at this point, There was a previous question about curriculum, and I feel that it will be a very positive approach if within the NEP they could really provide the eco resources for educational training of the young, but not forgetting the mid-career reconversions training as well for those in the marketplace who are very highly skilled, but maybe individuals of the population, but who may require to upskill in specific skill competencies so that their years of experience, their years of emotional intelligence could be put to good use in partnership with a relatively young management team, with a younger group of professionals. Because it's I believe truly in a certain form of impartation through knowledge, but there's also impartation through observation, and having this healthy interaction between middle-aged, transitioning, converting workers, staff, and this diversity and mixity within the company or the industry, that actually is a very win-win situation. So I really look forward to what the NEP curriculum designers could also be doing to promote such industry connectedness. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, sir. Now, uh, Professor Dhaliwal, I do have a question for you. Faculty
Yeah.
training is central to NEP success. How can we upskill teachers to deliver industry relevant education?
Okay. So the issue which I feel at academics now is because of a lot of accreditations coming up, faculty is not able to have a proper time management between the documentation part and the academics, the real academics. So there is a huge, like the universities really need to think beyond that to have and achieve the great vision. They have really to invest in, first thing is in more administrative teams which can do the documentation part rather than faculty getting into that. So when the faculty has enough time, we have MOUs with various companies also. So we are designing our curriculum in part with that. Uh, we have some trained members coming from their corporates who are teaching our students also some courses. But along with that, the faculty training, like we have trained the trainers program at our campus. So when some course is being offered by a company that train the trainer under the train the trainer program, first the faculty is also being trained. So first time it is the industry trainer who's coming up, but next time the faculty is they are capable enough to take up that course and get students prepared to the level which is industry ready. So, and another, the faculty development program should be, I think, like we are always struggling within the semester, one cannot go and attend the faculty development program. So, we should try to utilize the maximum time during our the vacations so that the faculty can really go in person. Like we are promoting, like join online, but in reality, almost all of us know when somebody we are attending an online session, how many are actually attending it. They will normally put it on the running mode and they are off to their other work. So I think we should always promote in faculty development programs in person. It earlier also we used to have, and the level and the quality of learning with the people was really good. And with after COVID, it has happened. Ki join, we'll have an online webinar, we'll have an online faculty development program. But I do really feel that only 30% of the people are there who are actually learning. Just for the heck of having a faculty development certificate and the certification done, they are just joining in and registering, but the actual learning is not being imparted. I'm giving a transparent view and the actual view which is happening. So faculty development programs should be in person, and it should be mandatory. At least faculty should have at least 2 faculty development programs for their corresponding technical skills. But because people are more adamant to, they are more adamant to restrict to the earlier learning. People are more adamant. I don't have time. How do I manage it? But everything is manageable, and this should be made mandatory because, as per the huge gap which is there between what we are teaching and what is actually required, so the faculty mindset has to change. The earlier mindset of having, when we were affiliated to other universities like central universities, the curriculum was good enough, but it was very old and it wasn't up to the market need. But as AI is getting approached, so everywhere AI is there. It is not only computer science. We'll say ki AI is the need of computer science. It is for all the branches. It is for management as well. It is for mechanical. It is for electronics. So AI is like the core part of our learning. So all the faculty has to accept it. They need to change their mindset, and universities have to ensure that such a faculty development program should be made mandatory, and in-person training has to be conducted. Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am. I would love to hear Dr. Lanka's perspective and thoughts because, as a Dean of Stanley College of Engineering, you should have shared this, sir. I would love to hear thoughts from you.
Yeah, we are investing a lot on faculty development. We have got tie-up with Salesforce, Wipro, HCL, where train the trainer concept has gone a huge way. Salesforce has trained 2 of our faculty and has certified them. And in turn, about nearly 800 students of ours have been trained by these people, getting badges even to the extent of 13,000 badges. Okay. So that path we have explored a lot, and we are reasonably satisfied with the progress, and we are taking it forward with other technologies. Like aerospace technology, Hyderabad has got 2 huge aerospace engineering firms, Dhruva and Skyroot. So we are taking this path for they are multidisciplinary organization. There is no one engineering which satisfies them. So we are offering paths through the professional electives and open electives. We are in touch with them to get into this. So that's one area where we'll have to train our trainers, teachers, upgrade our teachers to take special projects. And as you said, okay, when you compare the beginning of my career, vacation was vacation, and a whole solid vacation of 2 months, right? Today, the young aspirants who are coming into teaching, right, they're already demotivated by a teaching job and salary. The pressure on them is really huge, really huge. They are not seeing paisa vasool, what you call as returns, okay, for the effort they are putting. So in that direction also we are working a lot, trying to reduce the burden on them. And as you mentioned, try to timeline the things such that they are not, okay, they do not fail because of their inability, but they fail because of the overburden.
That is true.
Overburden. Okay. So that type of planning and implementation, coordination between administrators is being done to help this by following a nice calendar with a good calendar. Of course, always has got its own dynamics. Okay? So we adapt by prioritizing properly this sort of a role. One interesting observation what I have seen is peer learning. is also adding to this. Is also adding. We are using peer learning also to bring up the competencies, whether it is the alumni or the immediate peers of students. Both of them we encourage to help each other. That increases the empathy, EQ factor also. It also works on that. Okay. We have seen that some students have got the urge to share their knowledge. I think major change which India has done, India was an introvert until the 1990s. Now we became the extroverts. Okay, we became the extroverts where we started really saying what we are thinking and doing what we are thinking, right? So that opportunity we are giving to the students and faculty at Stanley, which is working out. It's having, I won't say we are an ideal society. We have got challenges, but still definitely we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, sir, I totally agree with your point. Now, may I have Miss Monica ma'am to please share her thoughts on this?
Absolutely. I second every word that Dr. Lanka just said. NEP, when we talk about NEP and faculty development programs and so on and so forth, see, this is, let's say NEP is the first, NEP, this is NEP's first real attempt to align, if I can say, industry and education, industry readiness and education. Of course, see, this is NEP is just not a destination. If I may say, it's a direction. We need to march forward,
Right.
and as Dr. Lanka just told us that we see light at the end of the tunnel. We need to scale all these things at a very high level. India is not a small country. We all know that. So scaling this, working on every minor detail, you know, when we are mirroring Germany, when we are mirroring the education policy of US liberal arts, when we are mirroring Singapore industry integrated thing, it is and scaling it, as I already covered this point, is not a child's play. We need time, and of course, we will be there.
Yeah, one more thing I would like to add. NEP as a policy has introduced a 4-year integrated BED course. So you can do a BA, BED, you can do a BCom, BED. Unfortunately, because most of us are in engineering institutions, BTech, BED is not there. BTech, BED is
Yeah.
not there. That is, we get directly engineering graduates trying to teach engineering graduates. Okay, postgraduates trying to teach graduates at least. But board management, time management, assessment types, all these, they have no idea in innovating them according to the students. That's the
Dr.
challenge.
Lanka, I have been continuously, invited for the training engineers and engineering college students, and I would rightly second this point. They have this in certain colleges when you talk about time management and that stuff, but it's not in totality. It's only in papers, and any 2-day workshop cannot fix it. I was recently called by a very reputed college in Mumbai, engineering college, and the time span that they provided me to train the engineers on time management, you just reminded me of that point. That's not adequate. You cannot expect a 2-day workshop to fix time management for students and for young engineers. That's when implementation will take time. That's all I can say.
Actually, we have our education department in our university. So we have been conducting regular workshops for our faculty where the assessments is being taught to them. That what
Mm.
kind of assessments and how much is the ratio to be given to each parameter so that we are able to have a holistic education for our students. So what kind of what all should be offered so that at the end of the program we are able to have a complete individual rather than just a, person who is technically very sound but otherwise from a social angle he lacks. So this thing is being there done at our university. Another is we have been conducting like 10 days workshop almost by our education department related to the mentor-mentee program. Because when a first year student comes to university, he is like just struggling with the cultural change as well as with the technical
Pedagogy.
change as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of spoon feeding at school level, but at university we have to be very realistic. What is the actual world is. So that's why a mentor plays a really important role in their life to how they have to proceed, what kind of assessments have to be done, and we are regularly focusing on the concept of regular assessments. The concept of we have reduced, like it is up to the faculty coordinator who is taking up the course to decide whether they would like to go in for the examination way or they would like to have a regular assessment. So mostly for all our project-based learning courses, we have the concept of regular assessments, and being I am of also taking up my course in the regular assessment way, project-based learning, and we have seen it is really tough, not easy if we are taking it really properly. But at the end of the day, at least at the end of the semester, the students either have a patent in hand, either have a good project in hand, research paper in hand, and further they are ready to compete with the market. So the projects are also decided in a way like the first 1 month is given to decide on the project. We ask them to visit NGOs. We ask them to have visit the villages, look out for problems in your surroundings, look at the problems your old age people are facing at home, your parents are facing, try to solve those problems. And they are the realistic problems.
Mhm.
So PBL is not only for projects which are just on your system, they are the projects which will provide solutions to the real world. So things are changing, and
Absolutely.
many of our faculty are offering the courses now in PBL mode. So now normal learning course, but the assessments are based on the project, the idea they have chosen, whether have a patent or a research paper or they are participating in competition. So these are the various parameters that we take into consideration. So this also develops the students in a way, because when you're going to a conference, you really network with a lot of people. You make connects. You have the prospects of internships also increases, and anything when you make connects, you explore a lot of world, and you come back with a lot of opportunities also in hand. So this has really improved. Yeah, and the NIS policy, National Innovation and Startup Policy, that has also
Mhm.
really helped us. Like after the completion of the core courses, the students can go in for internships for a 6 months internship, and where 75% of the credits would be mapped from the industry internship, and the 25% they will be covering from the MOOC courses. So the count of students who are going in for the NIST policy has really increased. Like I am handling the policy part at our university. So I have seen the count of students, the awareness has also increased, and this has really helped that the students by the end of third year only they are able to fetch placements for them.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing those valuable insights. So now I would love to ask Mr. John. Singapore invests heavily in continuous teacher training through NIE. Could you please emphasize on this a little, keeping your answers crisp and brief because we are running out of time?
Well, bearing in mind that Singapore is really such a small country, considering all, compared with India, which is so many times more, with more multifaceted cultural aspects to take into account. Singapore has really tried to drive the entire re-employment initiative from a government motivated and then enlarging to really disseminating partnerships throughout the industry. And most of these initiatives are really from government with tax incentives. So with tax incentive given to all the industry partners so that there is this buy-in by the industry partners towards co-education of perhaps young graduates. So I know that in 2025, based on the not so brilliant projection of difficulty of finding employment by graduates, there will be a new program put into place, which is a on-the-job internship program that will run from 1 year to 2 years, which actually involve government subsidies as well as tax exemptions for agreeing partners who allow these younger graduates to come in, as well as for the more matured candidates who are doing a mid-career change under the Skills Future framework. There will be a certain of these who are actually going to be integrated into the workforce within companies, but bearing in mind all coming from public funding, they will try to match industry benchmarks, but there will always be a slight shortfall because this is meant to help them at least integrate into a relevant industry based on their desire. Because when you look at Indeed, when you look at Job Street, you have one person competing with engineers from all nations around the world for the same post. And for the young graduates, for most of them, these posts require 5 years experience prior to acceptance, which is impossible for young graduates. And for the more matured candidates, these also require that the same 5 years experience, which is actually eliminatory for them because they are trying to move into these industries. So as far as the Singapore government is concerned, they are trying to gain support from industry partners by allowing a very win-win situation where through tax incentives, through government funding, they are going to try to mix the two form of industry relevant education into the targeted industries, be it finance, be it manufacturing, be it in the semiconductor space, or even today a growing interest and scope, sustainability space. So I would leave my comments at that. Perhaps other panelists might want to chip in after this.
Yeah. Yeah,
There,
please, Professor.
there is no option other than to concur. I think that's the need of the hour. The challenges is in the rules and regulations versus the flexibility to be given, and the contests which come because of that. Okay. So we are working on that on a more one-to-one basis, and fixing standards of organizations which we will allow any deviations from the rules. Say DRDO or RCI or TCS, we have created a strata wherein 1 or 2 years, which is not possible, not in our curriculum, but if that offer does come to them, like Google offers internship to a student, then how do I provide that? Okay. How do I provide that at the cost of how do they get the credits? These questions we are addressing in joint cooperation with the parents, talking to the parents, many such things, and making the parents aware of the extra burden which the student is to undergo and the reporting mechanism. Okay, what are the do's, what are the don'ts? Okay. The mid-examinations will be common to all students. That there is no compromise on. Okay. Whereas the attendance and the assignments, we can be flexible, provided they show progress. They give us extra assignments in the subject showing their progress. Because after all, our contract with the student is to give them a reasonable degree, employable degree. That is our contract with the student. So this NEP's biggest challenge is going to be this.
Actually, we have seen that the NISP has been really effective. If that you would like to implement, like we have implemented from I think 2021 we had started. Yeah, 21 onwards. So NISP policy rather, sorry. So NISP policy we have really implemented and it has really helped the students and they are getting the PPO offers after the end of third year itself. So but the curriculum has been designed in such a way that the core courses we are able to complete either by fourth semester or fifth semester because the core courses is the main which is we say rest is the electives part. So electives that the student, the mapping of the credits for the electives has been done with the industry internship. So 75% from the industry and 25% they cover from MOOC courses. So 75% from industry, if the industry is retaining the student as an intern and they really want to continue to next semester and further given PPO offer, I do really feel that the students have been really performing good in their own domain. So, and the students have really benefited out of it. Parents have not seen, they have always been supporting their students. Rather, at times we are saying we have maintained a minimum limit of 7 CGP over there in that case and with no backlogs. So, only the good students are able to avail that opportunity. So that has really helped the students to get PPO offers by the starting of fourth semester, they are on their jobs. So, like it is in a way supporting NEP, like we are making the student job ready, not in our own campus, but through internships also. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, rightly said. So, anyone else would love to share their points? All right. As we come to the end of this enlightening panel discussion, it is clear that the national education policy is not just a reform on paper, but a transformative framework that emphasizes flexibility, multidisciplinary learning, and industry readiness. From highlighting the evolving role of students in taking responsibility for their own growth to the importance of meaningful internships, bridging language gaps, and investing in teacher training, today's discussion has brought out many dimensions of how NEP can shape the future education and employability. What stood out is the collective agreement that institutions, industries, and students must work hand in hand to make these reforms truly impactful. On behalf of ACMW Stanley, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our distinguished panelists for sharing their invaluable insights and to our audience for their active participation and attention. With that, we officially conclude this session, leaving with the thought that NEP is not just about preparing students for jobs, but about preparing them for life. Thank you so much, panelists, for taking your time, joining, and sharing your perspectives.
Thank you. See you all. Happy teaching.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
connect with you
Privilege
all.
to have spent the afternoon with all of you. I look forward to meeting you in the future in Hyderabad at least.
Surely. We are there
Thank you
prior
so
to
much.
there in the yeah.
We are glad to
Yeah.
I
host.
have too many
Yeah,
points.
surely, anytime.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have
Thanks
a
all.
wonderful day.
It
Okay,
was a
bye-bye.
real
Bye.
pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thanks a lot.
you. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Sashini.
everyone.
Thank you for this wonderful panel. I learned a lot from you and hope to see how things can be more put into place for the future for the NEP.
Congratulations to the back-end team which is running the
Yeah.
show, right? Congratulations to the CSC department of Stanley, which is spearheading this effort through their HOD, Dr. Madan Mohan, who is doing an excellent job. Right. I hope we have more interactions, as John was pointing out. Definitely like to meet you all in person for a more exhaustive discussion and collaboration. I think collaboration is the only way to solve our problems. We cannot get all the skills. We have to collaborate with skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sum of all our parts are definitely bigger than individuals.
Yes, Dr. Lanka rightly said. Thank you, Dr. Lanka. Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you, Miss Monica,
Thank
ma'am.
you,
Thank
Ms.
you,
Roy.
Professor
Thank you,
Dhaliwal.
Dr.
My pleasure.
Lanka.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.